A fabulous voyage we've shared, my friend. To Warden fell and new opportunities. Still reading that letter? Lover's note, No need to confirm or deny it. We all have our secrets. I wonder what Vardenfell has in store for us.
Heavy rocks ahead! Brace yourselves!
Well, that doesn't sound good.
This one's still alive, now you.
I can see that. Walk this way, and let's make sure everything works after that dreadful shipwreck. Look what the sea coughed up. Welcome to Vardenfell, land of dark elves, lava flows, and slaves of all descriptions. Speaking of slaves, let me get those manacles off you. Oh, you'll find I'm full of surprises. I have just the thing. Hold still. There. You've been captured by slavers. Haven't you been paying attention? Maybe you hit your head when your ship crashed into the rocks and dumped you onto the bitter coast. The slavers lured your ship in and took their pick of the survivors. Slavers? Me? No. My allegiance leans in an entirely different direction. Let's just say I'm here to help you escape this place. Then you can get back to what you were doing before the slavers so rudely sank your vessel. Not so fast, hero. I need to make sure you can handle yourself in a fight. Not everyone recovers from a near-death experience that quickly. Let's go over some of the basics of combat. Hit me. I want to see what you've got.
Nice. Now follow it up.
Try to block this one.
Finish her off.
Impressive. You're just what I need to pull my plan together. Most of the slavers are currently out on a raid. That means it's the perfect opportunity for us to make our escape. Oh, not too much, really. I need you to find a set of slaver clothes so you don't look like one of the prisoners. Plus, we need the gate key, or we'll never make it to the docks. Here, take my spare lockpick in case you need it. I've got a few more things to check on before we can make our escape. You do your part, and I promise you, I'll do mine. An idea? Of course. I just need proof to satisfy my superiors. But don't worry, I'm sure I'll have things well in hand by the time we meet back up.
You've been drinking. Treacherous slave! I'll have your head!
Over here. Did you get the things Naryu wanted? The slavers are returning and plans have changed. Naryu sent me to find you and get the gate key. Naryu sent a signal to the house guard in Seydanin, and that's when the slaver horn started sounding. The slavers must have been hiding nearby, and now they're on their way back. We have to hurry. You are a ray of sunshine on a cloudy morning. I'll lead the prisoners through the gate and see what we can find to get off this island. You meet up with Naryu at the Overlook, and then rendezvous with us at the docks.
I couldn't have done much better myself, hero. Good work down there. There's one more thing to do, if you're up to it. Time is short, but I have something to tell you. You've earned that much, at least. I'm an assassin, a Morag Tong agent, here to complete a job. The writ I carry gives me the legal authority to end my target's life. No questions asked. I'm here to kill Captain Svardstar, leader of this band of slavers. He's as bad as they come. Because I need your help. I can kill the captain and 10 of his thugs without breaking a sweat. But the slavers' ship? It's faster and stronger than anything the locals can throw at it. If we don't scuttle the ship, they'll be right back to business. Not big on gratitude, I see. Look, I signaled Seydanin, but they won't get here in time to stop the slavers. With your help, we can end the slavers, save their prisoners, and sink their ship. Otherwise, the prisoners are as good as dead. Gather some fire salt and kindle pitch from the docks. With them, you can make a firebomb. Not only will setting their ship on fire destroy it, it will flush Svardstar from his hiding hole so I can end him. We'll meet after you gather the supplies. Over here! Get on board and let's go! Under attack. Pretend and you're part of the crew, and maybe the slavers won't notice. Go below decks and use the firebomb. I'll search for the captain. Now move.
Skeeving fetcher! I'll kill you!
Deal with this flea.
Nice! We make a great team. Now let's get off this burning ship.
Good. You've returned to your senses. Let's talk. So, care to tell me what you're doing on that slaver ship? This is the port town of Seydanin, on the island of Vardenfell. We fished you out of the burning wreckage of a slaver ship near Firemoth. If you're not a slaver, why were you dressed as one? We? I'll let Governor Salvi sort this out. She wants to see you. Best not to keep her waiting. Come with me.
You're a rescue sergeant? Let me just record the name in my ledger.
Not this one. Governor Salvi doesn't want an official record.
Really? Very well. The governor's in her office.
As governor of this region, I have questions that need to be answered. We found you among the wreckage of the slaver ship, and we found a strongbox with your name on it in another wreck. I'll give you the strongbox if you tell me the truth. Did she? And where is this writ? I don't see any writ. And without a writ, all I have is a murder. Take your strongbox, but we'll hold on to you until I have proof of your claim. I have no patience for tale-tellers or slavers.
A moment, Governor. Here's my honorable writ of execution for the slaver captain.
These papers appear to be in order.
We're done here, hero. But don't worry. I'm sure we'll see each other again.
I suppose you can go now, and we'll leave your name out of the official record. Just don't make me regret this.
Forgive me, Outlander, but I have enough to deal with. I'm just a simple tribunal priest, and the trouble at the ancestral tomb was too much for even our buoyant armiger to deal with. I have failed Lord Vivek, and left a colleague alone at the tomb. Lord Vivek sent the three of us to seek guidance at the Andrano ancestral tomb. We were attacked when we got there, and our guard was seriously hurt. I barely got her to safety, but we failed to complete the mission Lord Vivek bestowed upon us. Canon Levoul. He remained behind after we retreated from the tomb. I know he wants to get back inside and ask Lord Vivek's questions, but there's no way he can get past the Daedra, or ask the questions on his own. May the three grant him wisdom.
Taliser, what's wrong? Someone help!
By the three! First a wounded armiger, now this!
By dawn and dusk, evil creeps through the shadows of my beloved Vardenfell. But an outlander arrives to aid my people, just as I have foreseen.
Those words, what do they mean? What happened? Merciful Azura, the Mother Soul spoke through you. It's a miracle!
Lord Vivek, protect me. That was Azura, the Queen of the Night Sky. And you, she spoke directly to you, Outlander. I'm surprised the Daedric Prince would risk Lord Vivek's wrath to proclaim a prophecy. But she did say you were here to aid us. The Daedric Prince Azura possessed that woman and spoke through her. I've heard of such occurrences, of course, but to witness such an event... She said evil creeps through the land. I wonder if it has anything to do with what we saw at the tomb. We sought guidance in a matter that concerns Lord Vivek. I received specific questions to ask while Levoul concentrated on summoning his ancestor. The Daedra ruined those plans when they fell upon Urnsey, and we were forced to flee. Vile creatures from oblivion. You hear about an odd ghost or a nest of vampires, but never Daedra. Please, if they're still there, they'll rip Canon Levoul apart. He's definitely not a warrior. Just look at what they did to the Buoyant Armiger. The Buoyant Armigers comprise one of the military orders of the Tribunal Temple. They seek to emulate Lord Vivek's deeds through actions and words. Poor Urnsey. Those monsters went straight for her. Her blood flowed like lava from Red Mountain. Where are you from? Children learn of Red Mountain before they even taste Flynn. The mountain sits at the center of Vardenfell, periodically rumbling like a sleeping Nyx shaking its leg. Lately, however, it seems to be waking from its long slumber. Azura is the cruel but wise Daedric Prince of Dawn and Dusk. She's one of the good Daedra, for what that's worth. But for her to speak through an innocent means something terrible is about to happen. Why else would she dare Lord Vivek's wrath? What do they teach you where you come from? Lord Vivek's a living god! Azura is merely the anticipation of Sothasil. Vivek stands as the present and the future, while Azura clearly represents Vardenfell's past. So no, they don't get along. You don't know Lord Vivek, one of the living gods of the Dunmer Tribunal. You must be new to our land, Outlander. But there's no time. Canon Levoul remain behind. He needs help if he's going to get inside the tomb and ask Vivek's questions. Yes, one of the god monarchs of Morrowind. He's the warrior poet who lives in a grand palace in Vivek City. Lord Vivek sent us on this holy mission to request information from Canon Levoul's ancestor. It breaks my heart that I have failed him.
I can't let Lord Vivek down. Those monsters, it's too dangerous. What am I going to do? Did Canon Valasar send you? Oh, she did, didn't she? That means she made it to Seyda-Neen. Vivek be praised. Will you help me complete my mission? It would be sacrilege if I don't enter my family's tomb and make Lord Vivek's inquiries. As the saints declare, the tribunal always provides. We'll need to be cautious, however. Daedra invaded the tomb. Makes it hard to talk to one's ancestors while monsters try to eat you. I'll also need your help when we reach the summoning chamber. Take this scroll with Lord Vivek's inquiries, while I summon forth my ancestor spirit and concentrate on maintaining the connection. You must ask the questions. He insists we use the exact phrasing. We can go inside when you're ready. I've already lost precious time due to the buoyant Armiger's wounds, but I suppose a few more moments won't make the volcano erupt or the moonlit fall from the sky or anything. What else can I tell you, my friend? Well, I can tell you why they weren't here the last time I paid my respects. Canon Valasar thinks they're some kind of Daedra, determined to keep us from fulfilling Lord Vivek's will. Until you showed up, I wasn't sure what I was going to do. I'm not quite sure, and it wasn't my place to ask. When your living god gives you a task, you say, "Yes, my lord." The questions seem to involve the time before the tribunal, which I assume is why we must ask them of my long-dead ancestor. A few of my contemporaries can boast of a luminary such as Farina Andrino occupying a prime branch upon their family tree. Lady Farina studied at the feet of Sothasil and was counted among his companions before the tribunal rose to power. Who's Sothasil? It's like asking who are Vivek and Almalexia. They are the tribunal, the living gods of the Dunmer. Sothasil is the architect of time and the binder of oblivion. If you want to know more, we can talk after we've finished. Before we go in there and face those monsters, I want you to know how much I appreciate your aid in this matter. Just don't lose the scroll that contains Lord Vivek's questions. Now come, let's call forth my ancestor. I'll open the tomb door. Follow me, but keep an eye out for those Daedra. Careful. The creatures attacked as soon as we entered the Hall of Remembrance. This used to be such a peaceful place. I came here as a young acolyte to meditate. We're nearly there. Then we can summon my ancestor. The summoning chamber. I'll call forth my ancestor, then you can ask Vivek's questions.
Hasn't my rest been disturbed enough by those filthy Daedra? Why do you summon me, descendant?
My Lord Vivek has inquiries that only you can answer, my lady. My companion will present them with your permission.
The warrior poet? Very well. Ask Vivek's questions. Ask the warrior poet's questions, Outlander. Ah, Lord Vivek always had a way with words. Tell him to rest assured. The heart remains safe. I wonder why that concerns him. Ask the remaining questions, as my time here is short. An enemy of old, yes, but not the one that Vivek presumes. Sothasil imagined multiple scenarios and contemplated endless solutions. He even experimented with his divinity, drawing energy to study before returning it. Loss will come, he foresaw, but not until the collapse of the temple. Now back to sleep.
I hope that's what Lord Vivek needed. Let's talk outside. Thank you for helping me complete my task. Now, I need to return to Vivek City. Have you been there? Oh, it's amazing. Ziggurats rising out of the water, the moonlit hanging in the sky above. You should meet me there so I can introduce you to Lord Vivek. Oh, just between us, I understood neither the questions asked nor the answers received. Not that I expected to. Some things aren't meant for mortal minds. That's another reason for you to come to Vivek City, to help me explain what my ancestors said. Excellent. I just need to make a quick stop in Seydanin to check on my original traveling companions. When you get to Vivek City, head right to the palace and I'll meet you there. I know that Lord Vivek will want to reward you for assisting me. I'll be along shortly. When you get to Vivek City, head directly for Lord Vivek's palace. Once there, I'll make introductions and we can tell the warrior poet everything we've learned. Of course. As I said, the tribunal consists of our 3 living gods, Vivek, Almalexia, and Sothasil. They lead us in spiritual matters and rule over Dunmere society as god monarchs of the Dark Elves. I serve Vivek, but honor the entire tribunal. Unfortunately, no. The Dunmer houses bow to the tribunal, but the savage Ashlanders refuse to acknowledge their divinity. The heretics never allowed themselves to be assimilated into the great houses. Instead, they hold to primitive superstitions.
Bah! Dull clock. Yes. Hello. What are you doing out in the middle of nowhere? Going for a walk? This one often walks. Around here, I mean. Nervous? Me? Ha! Do not make this one laugh. Hallin here is just horrible. Bandits kicked this one out of his home and stole his crops. Hallingier is just a simple farmer, you see. They will make me a starving pauper. You will help? Oh, bless you. This one planted his crops in a cavern nearby. Saint Sipilu, please, retrieve my notes and poison the water. Without proper irrigation, the plants will wither. It pains me to kill them, but these bandits must not prosper. You are a true hero, Walker. A brave and noble warrior. Falora and I are forever in your debt. Sorry, I was just... Hey! You and I have the same belt buckle. What are the chances, huh? I am sorry. This one is a nervous wreck. Hallingier is growing a rare Khajiiti herb. Very delicate and very desirable. Good for seasoning fish and soothing the humors. Satisfied? Do not worry, Walker. You can depend on Hallingier. Falora is this one's loyal farmhand. She is not very bright, and she is very lazy. Always scribbling notes and asking silly questions. But I keep her on anyway. Hallingier always does right by his friends. I could, but this one likes Falora. Plus, she probably knows too much. Oh, she knows too much about my farming practices. Yes. Hallingier has many secret farming tricks, like using fish heads and guar dung for fertilizer. But this one has already said too much, yes?
Sarah, a moment, please.
You made it. Good. We have a great deal to talk about in a short period of time. In a clearing to the southeast, but that can wait. I trust you've seen what Hallengier and I were growing in there. Moon sugar. In its raw form. It's a crude narcotic, but if you refine it, it becomes something truly odious. Skooma. I had to be sure he could do it. Moon sugar is temperamental. No one's been able to grow it here in Vardenfell. Until Hallengier. I need you to take the notes you found to Captain Bethis in Seyda-Neen. Tell him everything. He'll handle the rest. It's complicated. I was a member of House Redwin's Narcotics Oath Bureau. I made some very serious mistakes. If I brought this tip to Captain Bethis, he would ignore me. But he has no reason to distrust you. Please, do this for me, Sarah. If you'd ever taken it, you'd know. Skooma is a powerful hallucinogen. Addictive, deadly, and cheap. Lethal overdoses are routine in Morrowind. Once it's got its hooks in you, you'll do anything to get it. Steal, rape, kill, whatever. I don't know, but it doesn't matter. He's developed a method to grow vast quantities of moon sugar in Vardenfell. That's a dangerous skill. Too dangerous. Can you imagine what would happen if the Kimona Tong crime family got a hold of his notes? Hallengier is no Daedric prince, but his work could be just as destructive. Please, just do the right thing. I'd rather not discuss it. Suffice it to say that the skooma trade offers many dark incentives. Especially for undercover officers. It's easy to cross the line. Too easy. Hopefully this arrest and seizure will help me make amends.
You are kind to check up on Hallengier, but this one is fine. Again, thank you. What? How could she? Why would she do that? Hallengier is no threat to anyone. Skooma? No, no, no. Hallengier does not make skooma. My sister and cousin were both addicts. This one would never make such a thing. I only grow moon sugar, Walker. For personal use, you see. You would not ruin a life over such a thing, would you? Hey, Hallengier has huge appetites. A little sugar in the morning to start the day, a little in the evening to soothe the soul. Moon sugar is a beautiful thing, my friend. The Riddlethar's gift to all Khajiit. Is the pursuit of pleasure really so bad? Hallengier is glad you agree. This one just needs to gather his belongings, then he will be on his way.
Not now, citizen. I'm up to my armpits in problems today. Hallengier? I thought him a clueless sugar sop. If he's managed to grow moon sugar here in Vardenfell, he's more cunning than he seems. Make no mistake, we'll find him. The Tribunal thanks you for your help, Outlander. Take this as your reward. Did you need something else? A skooma baron you'd like to report, perhaps? No? Then move along. For Lura, that skooma fiend can barely put her trousers on straight, let alone conduct an investigation like this. You must be mistaken. Difficult to say. If I had my way, she'd be hanging from the nearest tree. I'll pass it on to my contacts in the Oath Bureau. I will be honest, though. Her chances are very slim.
I don't know how we're going to get all this done. I miss the days when I could just request another contingent of slaves.
That insufferable If you're here about the property, you'll need to return later. I'm dealing with some unforeseen complications. Until recently, Bulag Idolas was my tenant. When I learned she used my property to run a skooma operation, she broke into my office and absconded with the deed. Without it, the guard does nothing. They don't believe I own the place. It's a total loss. Yes, you can. I can't have the place tarnishing my good name. If you recover the deed and key, I'll sign it over to you. Bulag Idolas had a falling out with her old partner. Zugagrath, I think. Try finding him wherever scum accumulates in town.
I don't know you, and I don't want to know you. Yeah, so what? I might, for the right price, but my loyalty is expensive. Huh. So you do know how this works. I searched your place the night she left town, but the only thing worth taking was some old papers. You paid well enough, so I'll let you look through them. Check my bag.
May I help? Welcome to the Guild Hall, Knowledge Seeker. What brings you here today?
We're book hunters of a sort. We seek out new information, capture it in our libraries, and make copies for distribution across Tamriel. The Guild doesn't care about battlefields or boundaries, just knowledge and the acquisition of new tomes. We provide training in unique spells and abilities only available to members. And from time to time, projects crop up for those with an adventuresome spirit. You may end up working with the Guildmaster himself. Vanus Galerian, one of the founding members of this august body, still holds the proud title of Guildmaster, overseeing every guild hall in Tamriel. He works with other ranking members, such as Tellinger, the Artificer, to ensure our future success. We are neutral in the war between the three alliances, while many of us here in Volkelgard hold true to the Eagle Banner. When we're on guild business, we kneel to no king or queen. That's why you'll see members of every race in our halls.
Welcome to the hall. What can I do for you? Stars above, yes. Welcome to the Fighters Guild. You should consider joining up. We have a new guildmaster and a new singular purpose. You look like just the kind of candidate we want for new comrades in arms. Right. Our new guildmaster is an Argonian, sees all colors. She has us all hunting down the Daedra and their damned anchors. You might have seen them. Enormous chains. Plagues of Daedra boil out to lay waste to the countryside. Hard fights. No. We only draw blades in service to the Guild. We're technically neutral in the war between the three alliances. We love the Eagle Banner and Her Majesty, of course. But every race, every creed belongs under the Guild Hall's roof. Guildmaster Jofnir passed away recently, very suddenly. I always thought he'd die with a blade in his hand. But he passed away in his sleep, called to Sovngarde by his ancestors. We all miss him, but Colors has proven to be a very able leader. Ha! There's a good question. We train our members in special techniques. And the higher-ups are always looking for motivated members to help with special projects. You never know, you might be the next Jofnir.
This is the person who helped me at the tomb, my lord.
Lord Vivek, we don't need the help of this outlander.
Oh hush, Archcanon Tarvis. Outlanders have their usefulness, and this one intrigues me.
As you say. I'll be in my office if you need me.
Step forward, friend of Lavul, and let us speak. Canon Level says you helped him in his mission. As I have written, the one who helps my ally becomes my friend. Despite the Archcanon's concerns, I greet you with sincerity and pose a simple question. Will you assist us further, Outlander? I have ordinators and armigers at my disposal. Vast armies of followers and dedicated priests. What I don't have, however, is a fresh perspective. Will you set aside your personal goals for a time and become the eyes and ears of a god? Good. I need assistance to investigate a strange phenomenon that the Ancestor confirmed may indeed be a problem. We'll start with a simple divination ritual. Archcanon Tarvis can tell you what we need to delve into this mystery. The situation that troubles me has taken a toll on my Archcanon, but he's a faithful servant. Tarvis will do as I say, and I say we need your assistance. Find the Archcanon in his office, and he'll tell you how to proceed. The Daedric Prince. I suppose the same events that concern me might interest Azura, though she could just as easily be the source of these troubles. Red Mountain, strange Daedra, and then there's... well, we'll talk more about that when you return. Levul's ancestor assured me that a source of power remains safe. As for the rest, let the guess ripen in the mind, and only speak when the fruit grows certain. I require more information on these matters, hence the need for the divination ritual.
Ah, Outlander. Lord Vivek trusts too much to put his faith in one such as you, but who am I to question my god? I suppose he sent you to me so I could put you to work? Did he say which task he wants us to accomplish first? Ah, yes. We do need to perform a ritual to reveal the nature of the phenomenon that vexes Lord Vivek. Now listen closely. I hate to repeat myself. Despite my objections, Vivek believes you were sent to help, so I'll do my best to assist you. Go to the ziggurat that's still under construction and tell the Overseer that Lord Vivek requires the Blessing Stone. Then bring it to me in the palace. You receive a simple errand in the service of Lord Vivek, and countless questions form unbidden in your mind. Very well. Go ahead. Ask your questions. It's not like I'm the busy archcanon of a living god or anything. Ah, the ignorance of outlanders. How refreshing. The Blessing Stones serve as repositories for small amounts of Lord Vivek's power. They allow his favor to permeate sanctified locations. We need such a stone to power the divination ritual. If you haven't guessed yet, the phenomenon interferes with Lord Vivek's power in unusual ways. It will be safer for everyone if I perform the ritual by using the Blessing Stone instead of drawing on my Lord's personal store of energy. Even if I told you, you wouldn't comprehend it. Lord Vivek's senses eclipse those of mere mortals. Suffice it to say, he feels a disturbance in the flow of energy throughout Vvardenfell. He seeks to discover the source of that disturbance. Lord Vivek sees signs and portents everywhere. It's the poet at his core. I tend to be much more pragmatic. Sometimes a volcano is simply a volcano, and not a harbinger of doom. As for the Daedra, I have no idea. Perhaps the summoning got out of hand. Offend me? You give yourself too much credit. No, I feel the same about all Outlanders. This is tribunal business, best handled by tribunal resources. However, I also obey my Lord Vivek, so I will tolerate your involvement and do my best to aid you.
This project has been nothing but one disaster after another. How am I expected to get this ziggurat built on time when things constantly go wrong? Don't mind me. I'm just having one of those days. Our blessing stone? Do you know what happens if we give up our blessing stone? Well, neither do I, but I'm sure it won't put us back on schedule or end our string of disasters. I'm not one to disagree with the Archcanon, but that's a terrible idea. Lord Vivek? Why didn't you say so? But I'll need your help before I can turn over the blessing stone. The passage that leads to the consecration chamber collapsed, trapping some of my workers. If you can clear the way, you can borrow the stone. I appreciate the help. Just remember that you're only borrowing the stone. It needs to be back in the consecration chamber before the next shift, or we'll never get this ziggurat constructed in time.
Thank you. I'll go tell the overseer what you did for me.
I can't move! I thought I was gonna die under there. Oh, thanks for saving me.
Praise Vivek!
The Outlander returns. I understand there was trouble at the construction site, but you were able to save a few of the workers. Lord Vivek always draws the straightest arrow from the quiver. Praise the tribunal. Did you bring the blessing stone? Hear the words of the warrior poet and reveal the source of Lord Vivek's distress. A clockwork mage. A Daedric cultist. Something interfered with the ritual, my lord. But we may have learned something. Excuse me while I compare the results to our previous research.
Between the cryptic warnings of the ancestor spirit and the unexpected result of the divination ritual, I fear there may be more astir than I imagined. We solved the greatest mysteries by accident, I suspect. I should write that down. We learn from every action we take. Failure or success, each result teaches us something, at least in the larger sense. To be more specific, no, not as much as I hoped. Images that suggest avenues to investigate, riddles to solve. Let me tell you a secret, Outlander. It concerns a living god, an energy that fades like daylight as dusk spreads across the land. Listen well, and speak not a word. My divine energy, it drains away. Whether from illness or foul malady, I know not. You must travel the land and seek answers on my behalf. But first, gratitude before service, as I have written. So thank you. The ritual confirmed my worst fears. Divine energy flows out of me for no reason that I can discern. I felt the power imbued within my blessing stone get wrenched away as soon as you added it to the ritual. I couldn't stop it. To quote my own words as the warrior poet, no lock exists that the determined thief cannot open. Follow the trail of my missing energy, and try to discover the identity of the enemy Levol's ancestor warned us about. Something drains my energy. Find Archcanon Tarvis in his office, and ask if he gleaned anything useful from the ritual. If not, I know his earlier research indicated new avenues to investigate. Go where he tells you, and learn what you can. My divine energy diminishes with every passing moment, but the ritual confirmed my affliction is not natural. I regret that I could not reveal the full nature of these dire circumstances until your trustworthiness had been demonstrated. Yes, while Archcanon Tarvis has always been cautious about ideas and ideologies that didn't originate within the Tribunal, and recently, that prudence has grown 1,000-fold. He's a faithful servant, however, despite his narrow-mindedness. They always chide me about my flagrant displays of divinity, but so far, I am the only one of the living gods whose power is fading. Almalexia hoards her energy and has barricaded her temple against attack. As for Sotha Seal, my brother travels. We have not heard from him for quite some time, but I sense that he remains safe and in possession of his full power. Funny. He always wanted to discover the limits of our divinity. Perhaps I will solve that mystery for him. I've always used my power freely and without detriment. I create the blessing stones, hold the moonlit above the city, and perform 100 miracles a day to benefit my people. I begin to feel the toll this liberal application of divinity costs me. I care little for my own safety, but my people are another matter. Without my power to stop it, the moonlit will crash into the city and kill hundreds, perhaps thousands of innocents. And that would be just the start of Vvardenfell's woes. At first, I barely noticed the loss of energy. But as I continue to grow weaker, the more it feels like an attack against my person. Besides, the Ancestor Spirit confirmed that an ancient enemy was to blame. We just need to determine who before... Let us not dwell on disasters to come when we have problems enough to deal with in the here and now. Consult with Archcanon Tarvis and discover the source of this attack. Then we can put an end to it and not worry about what might have been.